Hello, welcome to Sudi Talks, and today we have a very serious topic. It's actually the art of addition and subtraction. You may ask yourself, what do I mean by that? So, first of all, we get to realize that we don't know if you're adding or subtracting the sum of the environment you're in or your self growth. It's going to lead up to my point. There are four factors that determine either addition or subtraction. But let's first define those words. Addition being you adding on to a specific self of you, environment, or being someone like, actually, as they call it, self branding, being adding on value. Let's put it in that terminology. Subtracting is this cannot bring in the right value. You're more of finding yourself laying back and not developing the purpose you want to be. And you cannot realize it because sometimes you can be slowing down, but not seeing the segment to that. Or you can find yourself progressing and doing well in that. So we're going to break it down into, let's call it, four parts. The first one being environment, thoughts, people, and lastly you. Put it in that perspective is the environment. Practically, it shapes how you vision your dreams and how you vision, how you think specifically. This can lead to high rates of most people developing like in areas that are, let me say, in a better vision, a better looking lifestyle compared to those in a low lifestyle. First of all, that's because of the environment they're in. They're used to seeing visually something that is possible and it has been done by a lot of people around them. So the environment really matters. I would say even the location really does a big play, but people don't realize it. Only if you make it out from a specific environment that might have been harsh. But you find yourself, those who have been in a better environment find themselves having a high rate of having that higher vision, I'll call it. Then we go to practically, it leads you to having specific thoughts. Because now you're saying you can easily have thoughts of things you want to do, either you're which are additional or subtracting, basing off. If you are in an area that was more drug related, for example, you find yourself having having more thoughts if the whole area that is demonically best of a wrong thing. You find yourself having people having thoughts of always being in a way of surviving is the only way to survive is basing off that type of success they have seen. Basing off that type of success they have seen on through that it's basing off the environment first of all, then the thoughts. People really be more of your motivation because they're the ones who are leading you to you're seeing a figure that has succeeded and using a route that maybe your environment and thoughts have been shaped in. So you find yourself having the people always form of a mentor or something. You not call them a mentor or a form of, how do they call it? More of more like a role model kind of in some form. So you find yourself seeing something that is shaping you. It may not be even in the same like location or environment. Location, like I mean more of the world that has been created. That's what I mean first of all by environment, thoughts and people. Now the people really play a very big role because that's where they either slow you, addition, give a form of addition or a form of subtraction. So the people around you easily shape how you progress. You can never know because if you're having the thoughts basing off the environment and the thoughts you had in, they help to persevere how you want to push yourself more. Or you create a form of comfort, which you never know in the long run. You're either slowing yourself down or you're improving. That's basing off example results. Is my handwriting a form of results that is created? When you get that form of results, you get to see and realize that either you progressed or you did found yourself having a form of addition or a form of subtraction, which is very hard to realize. But you get realized that it's basing off the environment and thoughts. And lastly is you either decide to see basing off the environment, the thoughts, and the people who define the you and the success you want, which will bring in the form of result, which can easily be an addition to your life or a subtraction. That's why some people always give, that's why many elders give advice of things where let me say they did bad at. And they get realized it was more of the foundation they were in, which was best of the environment, the thoughts, the people, and lastly led them to be the ones to make the decisions. That doesn't mean though that some circumstances can't lead someone to be specific thing that can play also another big role. But that's the main thing that forms the art of addition or a form of subtraction. And it's you to decide that form of success you want to bring to yourself or the results which will bring in the results that you want. So that's what shapes you to be that specific thing, that's what I call the art of subtraction and the art of addition. Thank you. See you on the next one.